This is the Wrestling Replay. I am Kato, reporter from YouTube. Welcome to episode number 56 of the Wrestling Replay. This is a pit stop leading into WrestleMania. That pit stop being the Elimination Chamber. A really solid card it was. But let's go ahead and jump into this card and break things down, because I believe we're going to get a few new rivalries heading into WrestleMania that may end up capping off there or a little bit before. But let's talk about it, all right? Now, to kick off the Elimination Chamber, we got a match between the Kabuki Warriors. They defended that tag team championship matchup against Candice LeRae and India Hartwell. Now, to me personally, I think we're going to get Sasha Banks back at WrestleMania. That's what I'm leaning towards. That's what I'm banking on. And if we do, I think we see Sasha Banks and Naomi team up again, and those will be the ones who take those tag team titles away from the Kabuki Warriors after Bayley take that title away from Damage Control and snatch it out of the hands of Io Sky. But let's go ahead and jump into the main card of Elimination Chamber. Kicking the show off would be the Women's Elimination Chamber matchup. We would see Becky Lynch taking on Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Raquel Rodriguez. A surprising return last week on Monday Night Raw. That's an interesting return for me, but we'll talk about that in a second. Now, and this matchup, man, really good matchup. I mean, the women always go out there and show out, especially when it's a match where we're going to see the women do their thing and the men's kind of do that thing later, like kind of like with the Royal Rumble. I feel like the women outshot the men this year in the Royal Rumble. Well, yeah, this year in the Royal Rumble. I feel like War Games. I feel like the women got them again. So, Elimination Chamber, man, the women went all out once again. I feel like once Bianca Belair got inside that matchup, everything really just turned up a notch. Everyone really turned up the intensity. I like the kickoff between Becky Lynch and Naomi. Those two, just watching them two work together inside the ring, I thought it would make for a really good one-on-one matchup between the two. Just watching them work, it felt like their chemistry was just like on a different level. I don't know if it was something they just practice over and over again. I don't know if it's just them two just, executing what was called inside the ring, but they look like they would have a really great one-on-one matchup. I don't know if we'll ever get that in the future, but just putting it on my list. We also see Liv Morgan. She was on fire, right? Eliminating Bianca Belair, getting there one-on-one. I'm like, okay, Liv might do it, but I had Becky Lynch win this whole thing, and that's exactly what happened. But I like the addition of Tiffany Stratton to the main roster. I like that because now when you have someone like Liv Morgan and Tiffany, who I think are going to go on and feud, if not capping it off at WrestleMania, I think it'll cap off somewhere prior to it. But that could be a perfect matchup or a perfect rivalry where you can either use Tiffany Stratton to continue let Liv, boost up and climb up to getting possibly another title shot. Or B, you can use Liv Morgan for Tiffany Stratton to finally start to gain some momentum now that she's on the main roster. And maybe she's going to be the next contender for that championship. I'm not sure, but these two women are both mid-card women where it can go either way. I like Liv a lot because I feel like when she's on her climb up to getting that title shot, the fans are fully behind her. The matches are exciting. The promos are emotional. Like, you can feel her climbing until she gets to that brass ring. But I feel like once she captures it is where the magic is lost. I feel like everything kind of falls flat. I don't know if that's the writer's fault or what's going on after that, or if it's like, okay, we got it now and the moment's over. But the climb for Liv is always the most exciting thing. So I'm interested to see what happens with Liv and Tiffany Stratton going forward. But nonetheless, I said Becky Lynch will win this matchup because I think that Becky Lynch will be the perfect contender for Rhea Ripley. I think that a win against Becky Lynch is the last thing that Rhea kind of needs to help boost her stock to like that ultimate level. But surprisingly, with Raquel back, I wouldn't be surprised if after Becky Lynch, we go ahead and get that Raquel and Rhea feud going, which really didn't, to me, really complete off last time these two was like, face to face. We had that injury to Raquel. She was on a nice little run. It looked like she was in line to become champion. So we'll have to see how they go ahead and tie that back in after this WrestleMania season. Now, after that matchup, we got to see the Judgment Day. They defended their championships against Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Man, I thought Tyler Bate and Pete was going to get it done. My whole logic was, hey, Damian Priest has to cash in. And if he's going to cash in, it's going to be at WrestleMania. And if he has a chance to win that championship, there's no way he's going to be holding the tag team gold. There's no possible way I see him being a double champion. But this was possibly the match of the night. Between this match and the Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley match, I think this match is really, this might be my match of the night. This match was really good, man. I mean, every second in that matchup, you just kind of didn't know who was going to win. I went into the matchup thinking that Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate was going to get it done. So at every moment, I'm like, okay, here it go right here. It goes right here. And then, you know, you get Dirty Dom coming in. You get Damian Priest breaking out the pin. Every single time you think the match is ready to end, nope, not at all. And then ultimately it led to Damian Priest and Finn Balor just showing that chemistry between the two, and managed to go out there and retain their championships and, you know, keep that gold inside of the Judgment Day. Now, interesting enough, after that matchup, we would see the Grayson Waller effect with Cody and Seth Rollins kind of working up their WrestleMania matches, kind of getting the crowd behind them, getting everything, you know, geared up. We also seen Cody issue a challenge to The Rock. Will The Rock accept? We don't know. But in the midst of Cody doing that, what do we get? We get Austin Theory cutting them off. Now, for me, this is where this whole segment was just, you know, hilarious. It fit perfectly in here, right? Austin Theory cuts him off, uses a lot of The Rock's punchlines and catchphrases until he's attacked by Steph and Cody Rhodes. Now, surprisingly to me, you will see Grayson Waller kind of just sit back and let it happen. I don't know if we're seeing a face turn between Grayson Waller, but I thought this would be a good young tag team possibly going forward if we're not going to push these guys into singles right now. But with the fact that Grayson kind of just fell back and let Theory do Theory, I feel like Grayson may have thought that, hey, Austin is kind of stealing my shine. He's stealing, you know, my show. He's trying to be in the spotlight and take it off of Cody and Steph and Grayson Waller, who are the guests on the Grayson Waller show. So it'll be very interesting to see if we're going to get a feud between Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, which will actually be pretty good. I think these two guys are really good in the ring. They're really good young talent, and this is the reason why I think we need a TV title in the WWE. After that, we would get our men's Elimination Chamber matchup with the likes of Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, L.A. Knight, Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul. Now, this matchup in itself has so much going on, and so much I feel like that's going to go on after the Elimination Chamber, leading into WrestleMania. Now, you know, going in the matchup, Kevin Owens hates Logan Paul, right? We already have that there. So that's the situation we have to monitor. But during the matchup, we would see when we finally get down to our last two guys, we get down to Drew McIntyre, we get down to Randy Orton, and then Logan Paul, who's already eliminated, uses the brass knuckles on Randy Orton so that Drew McIntyre can go ahead and get that pin. Now, barring that Randy Orton isn't truly injured, when it looked like he hurt his lower back during the Elimination Chamber performing at DDT. Hopefully he's not actually hurt, but if he is, I'm not sure where we go next. But if he isn't, maybe we get the Logan Paul and Randy Orton matchup leading into WrestleMania. That's a big matchup. And if you notice, when you pair Logan Paul up with certain guys, it's always with great experienced in-ring veteran workers, between the Seth Rollins, the Roman Reigns, the Rey Mysterios, the Kevin Owens, and now the Randy Orton. So it makes sense that this possibly will be his next opponent at WrestleMania. As much as I don't want to see Logan Paul go over Randy Orton at WrestleMania, he kind of went over Kevin Owens. So I kind of wouldn't be surprised, but that's going to be something interesting leading up to WrestleMania 40. Will that be a matchup? Now, you want the star power of Logan Paul and everything that he brings into the WrestleMania scene. You definitely want someone like Randy Orton, a veteran who the fans love, ultimate babyface right now. You want him at WrestleMania. So if you get this a matchup between the United States champion Logan Paul and Randy Orton, will we look at a situation where Randy can possibly win that U.S. title? Now, ultimately, I want to put that title on L.A. Knight. That's just what I want to do. It looks like that is getting further and further away from us. But I wouldn't mind seeing Randy Orton and Logan Paul go at it. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing Logan Paul go over. I can't see Randy Orton just kind of hanging out and being the United States champion. Could it work? Yeah, it definitely could work. We could definitely see that happen. There's definitely a lot of good matchups that Randy could have. Especially, I feel like this is his last leg that he's on right now. So there's a lot of good matches we could see possibly with Randy Orton. But more importantly, we got to see Drew McIntyre win this matchup, which I was right again. I'm 2 for 3 right now, just so everybody's keeping track at home. Drew McIntyre wins this matchup. I got Drew McIntyre going to WrestleMania and defeating Seth Rollins. I got him doing that. Now, I also had Damian Priest going in there and cashing in on Drew McIntyre. And just when I thought about that, I said, you know what? I wonder if it would make more sense if Seth Rollins somehow managed to go on and defeat Drew McIntyre, which I would not want to see that happen, just so that Damian Priest can cash in on Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, you know? But I really want to see Drew McIntyre with that title. I really want to see him with a nice championship run again. I think he did a great job when he was champion. It just sucked because it was during the COVID years, and I feel like you didn't really get that nice effect that you really wanted to have. But this Drew McIntyre right now, I think he's on another level. And I think that, you know, that should be rewarded with him going over Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Now let's go ahead and jump into our main event. Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax. Man, that was a good match. That was a good match. And when Nia Jax first came back, I seen a lot of people like, oh, she's going to answer somebody else. Why is she here? And this is why she's here. I mean, since she's been back, she's been on fire, to be honest. She's been really good. Microphone, brawls, inside the ring, everything. She's been absolutely amazing. In this main event now, she's coming to her first event, I believe, since she's returned. Well, besides Royal Rumble. And then she made events against Rhea Ripley, which was an absolutely amazing matchup. Now, I'm more so happy that we're going to get Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch going against each other at WrestleMania. But for me, it's the fact that, man, now we have someone like Nia Jax putting on matches like that. Now, where else can we go? Where else can we go with Nia Jax? You got women like Jade, who had a standoff with Nia Jax in the Royal Rumble, and she, you know, eliminated Nia Jax single-handedly by herself. I can't remember any other woman doing that. So could that be the next possible match leading into WrestleMania? If Jade is ready, I believe Jade is probably training and working hard right now, probably fine-tuning her skills. Could that be the matchup we see next at WrestleMania? Jade and Nia Jax. So this women's division is really stacked, and I wonder if it's time for the women to actually have a mid-card title of their own. Why not give them an Intercontinental title? Why not give them a United States title or a TV title itself? No different than what the men got. And it's a lot of women on the roster, and they're on fire. So I think it's time for them to be rewarded with, you know, another championship. But nonetheless, man, we got Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, WrestleMania. I see Rhea Ripley going over, defeating Becky Lynch, and pretty much putting a stamp on this ultimate dominant run that Rhea Ripley is on as champion. I think that we eventually get that. Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. Eventually, these two are going to be the women that's going to pretty much lead this new revolution of women. And I think that that's going to be our ultimate rivalry. That's going to be our Stone Cold and The Rock rivalry. That's going to be the Shawn Michaels and the Bret Hart. That's going to be the one. Those two women. But let me know what you guys think, man. Do you like what's going to happen in that WrestleMania? Do you like possibly getting Randy Orton and Logan Paul? Possibly getting Nia Jax and Jade Cargill? I think that's going to be really good. Possibly seeing Liv and Tiffany Stratton. That's something that could possibly take place. And who do you think is going to take those tag team titles from the Judgment Day? I'm not sure, man, but I want to see my man Jey Uso get a rematch too for the Intercontinental title. I thought the rematch would possibly take place here at the Elimination Chamber. It did not. But I want to see him possibly get a rematch with Gunther at WrestleMania, and then having that WrestleMania moment and becoming an Intercontinental champion in his own right. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I am Kato. I am signing out. Peace.